Guys, I've got a note here.
What?
There's
What?
a note.
What did it say?
There's a note. It says, "Dear Patch and Switch, it's Friday. Do you know where your announcer boy is?" Question mark.
What? Did you
I've
not
had
say
to
him?
take today off to print the internet on my new dot matrix printer. I might be back next time. This could be a new business opportunity. Let me know if you want in on the ground floor.
I think you should print the internet and mark it as an NFT and then sell it.
I think he's going, dude. I think he's going straight up MLM.
Did you now? Okay, here's dating you right now. Did you ever print off
dating
ASCII
me?
art?
You're dating me now? What?
Yeah, I know. Did you ever print off ASCII art off of those big wide carriage dot matrix printers?
Oh, did I? Yeah, I'm sure I did. Like some orc or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like crazy ASCII art to be able to have like a mansion or a skeleton head or some other things like that. I remember seeing those big ass printers being able to pull some of that stuff off, and they were like super fast.
Are you talking like the line printers, the one that do the entire line at a time?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. They're the big ones, universities and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Can you even buy dot matrix printer paper anymore? I bet it's on eBay.
I bet you there's someone on eBay or Amazon selling it for like $200 a sheet or something like that.
Hey, chat, go on eBay and tell me how much a box of dot matrix printer is. Printer paper is.
Dot matrix printer paper. Oh my God.
The best part was peeling off the sides, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Trying to get all of it off at once, you'd have this big long ribbon, right?
Yeah.
Just grab the whole thing and like take it off.
But what would really suck is you get down to the bottom and it would rip. Just a little bit, but you knew it ripped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would absolutely happen. And like, some rental car companies, other places still use dot matrix because it's the tried and true way of being able to get like a carbon copy, 3 versions printed of your contract and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, you're totally right. Yeah.
Still there.
Well, that's more impact printing, right? That does that.
I'll give you that. I mean, this is part of the theory that Orrin Thomas on my team has, and the theory is basically there's only like a few dozen different things that technology solves, and once the technology solves those few dozen things, it basically stays that way, because you have to really be exponentially better at solving what was already solved to kind of get people to adapt to go off and to use it. That's his theory, at least. I don't even know if he's stealing it from somebody else, but it seems to make sense because printing is obviously one of them, and we're still trying to figure out how to solve printing, that's for sure, across this organization.
Listen, it's just important that I be able to print email, okay?
Oh, hey, we had print email.
Sev 1 cannot print email.
Sev 1. We had some power fluctuations. Did you get that over in where you are yesterday?
No, but I saw the power trucks down on the main road. There was 14 of them.
No, it was crazy. There was literally lines snapping and cracking on the roadway. Apparently, it was pretty crazy. But I was affected by it. You weren't because you're closer to the data center, so they have more reliable power up there, and by the gas stations and the grocery stores and stuff like that. But I was affected by the power. But it went out, and then it came back on again. This was at 6 a.m. I didn't know it went out. And the only reason why I knew it went out was because all my smart lights turned on at full blast, including the one directly above my head in the bedroom at like 6 a.m. And then I wake up, I'm like, why is my light on? Is my daughter pranking me or something at 6 a.m.? What's she doing? And then it goes out again. And then it comes back on again, and it goes out again, and it's out. Now, the part that was weird, if you didn't wake up because of the light, you actually woke up by the sound of my laser printer in my office next to my bed, reinitializing. And so my wife Kelly said, "You're done. That's got to go. Like, we got to move the printer. It's not waking me up again." I'm like, it's the first time we lost power in like 10 years we've been living here. It's like, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's out. It's gone.
Gotta go. Wow.
It's gone.
That was part of my week, man. How you doing?
Apparently, Wow, I've lost the thread. I've lost chat. I've lost chat. So I believe it's Absablogganlutely said that you can get 20 pounds of dot matrix printer paper on Amazon for $50.
Oh, that's not bad.
That isn't bad.
Yeah.
The Shadiest of Panda says, as somebody who still has to support dot matrix printers, yes, you can still buy them. Apparently, it's a little too soon for us to start making fun of them. Noted there, Mr. Panda. Apologies.
What is it? Was the Centronics connector? Is that what it is? What the heck do they use these days? What was the name of that connector that the printers? What was it? It's a Centronics, isn't it? With the clips on the side, you have to put the thing in, and it's like.
Is that Centronics? I thought that was something else.
Well, I know obviously like the parallel port, but I'm pretty sure you don't have parallel ports on computers anymore. They must have upgraded some kind of print server to be able to work with those dot matrix.
There's a USB to parallel adapter.
Yes, it is. It's a 36-pin Centronics connector. Has a little tabs on the side.
Okay. That's the one. Oh,
yeah,
man.
can I have the USB-C to Centronics adapter, please?
Thunderbolt. Give me a Thunderbolt connection. I got a Mac. I'm hip.
Actually, you got the high-speed printing.
That'll work.
Let's see. TRP8472 is not at his post. Says some people still use dot matrix kit, mainly logistics and accounts. Yeah, I see that when people show up. Yeah. Buckeye guy J Flo in the house, who has actually posted an Amazon link to a USB to Centronics printer cable.
Yeah, he's abusing his mod capabilities by putting links in the chat. So be very careful, gentlemen and ladies that are listening to or watching the chat live. All those links are suspect, and they could be affiliate links, and so watch out. We don't know. He's kind of shady.
You're not wrong. Absolutely says the serial ones always caused me pain when we had to wire all those adapters up.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a post on the social medias the other day that was something along the lines of if it showed the little jumper pin for a hard drive.
Oh, yeah. The master slave back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you don't know, you're too young if you don't know what this is, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Did you used to take the pin and then turn it sideways to just save it so you didn't lose it?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Those little jumpers, and then the small computer case screws of different thread sizes. I have literally a Tupperware full of them. Still to this day inside my IT Pro kit, my emergency IT Pro kit that's in my bug out bag in the other room.
So just in case I'm sure you had the Radio Shack PC toolkit, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was
with the orange and black handles, and then inside you had the little kind of vial that had the lid that you put all the screws in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Every IT Pro who had one of those, you could be heard like 3 blocks away walking down the street with your bag because those screws rattling around in that little thing in your toolkit.
Absolutely.
But it had the proper nut driver, right, for the PC screws, right? So you didn't have to just use the Phillips head.
I hated having to use a Phillips screwdriver.
But it was always the first thing to go. The nut driver was always the first one to disappear.
That's right. Steal it on you because they.
Or it's an elf.
Great! I love this. This is awesome. No, you got to watch out for that. Sticky Fingers Malloy used to take mine.
Sticky Fingers Malloy.
He's a guy on my IT team back in the day.
Sticky Fingers Malloy. Absolutely says too many flashbacks today. Had one of those hard drive jumpers catch fire on the company's file server, a 4 gig SCSI drive. SCSI, SCSI, for those of you who don't know, resulted in a 32-hour workday restoring that from tape.
Yeah.
32 hours to restore 4 GBs. KT Baker 77 saying, yes, we had those toolkits. I even had a solder sucker.
Oh, yeah.
I had the one. So the newer one that I had a solder sucker, but I had the original version I had one of those little impact things to repack
it.
To repress in like EPROMs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm dating myself by even using the term EPROM, aren't I?
Yep. So in this episode of a bunch of old IT guys and gals,
you kids don't know what you were missing out on.
Oh yeah, IRQ jumpers on sound blasters.
Oh, don't get me started. So, listen, you know what? If you don't know the pain of messing with IRQ jumpers on a Sound Blaster card,
just move it over one more. Try it. Just move it.
What I can suggest is the closest thing to that in new times is when you go to plug in a USB drive, like a USB cable or a thumb drive, and you put it in, it doesn't go in, so you flip it over and it doesn't go in, and then you flip it back over and then it plugs in. That is exactly what configuring the Sound Blaster jumpers were, because you would move it around and then eventually go back to the original one and it would finally work again.
Both of those examples are actually lines of code that are buggy in the Matrix program, and that's why it happens. So it's not actually reality.
The Matrix is printed on a dot matrix printer.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do you think they have the green thing that comes down? That's live ASCII art.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow.
When installing a CPU took 100 pounds of force. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, KT Baker. Anyway, so hello to everybody. A lot of folks that joined us in chat at the aforementioned TRP 8472. We've seen KT Baker. We've said hello. We have not said hello to One Wise Geek, but Visio MVP is in the house, who has a couple of boxes of dot matrix printer paper. The fairest of Brits is here saying good day, fine people. Present company excluded from that, I'm sure. Val Tepper down in the PDX. Absolutely. Chaos 13 is in the house. 13X. Sorry, I need to get the X. Apparently there's a variable. Nice. Chaos has a variable at the end of his name. Mm-hmm. Can you type in helping my daughter with algebra? Let's see. I haven't been helpful at all, actually. Just saying. Our good friend Jay Flo.
More sophisticated other half, for sure.
Yes.
For some reason, all the kids go to her for help with schoolwork. They just don't seem to like my presence or patience, perhaps. I think it's because I had an argument with regards to how useless English grammar rules are when writing and why it's just so random. And they just like, why are you helping me? Like, why does this have to be a rant about the English language?
Next on Rick's dissertations, Oxford comma, yes or no?
It's just not logical as someone who learned French from the beginning.
Oh, you're speaking French. My bad. So Jay Flo's in the house has. When does Cooper get his own Twitch account?
Yeah, I know.
We've got to make him an admin.
I think
Jay Shock doesn't even have admin privileges, but we're going to give it to Cooper.
Yes, I think we just need to have random dog cams that we can like patch into, because Bailey for me is literally right here. She very much appreciates her anxiety floof bed that she gets to curl up into, because it's directly beneath 3 different full-size desktop workstations. So the white noise and I think the residual heat are positive impacts on her.
Hey, Steve, is it possible that we have random puppy cams that you could, it's like Feed the Ducks? So when we're not on, you just get random puppy cams and then work out a system.
Let's not introduce change right now.
Well, but I was thinking Feed the ducks, feed the puppies.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I mean, other than with my dog, she's on a diet because she was 95 pounds, but.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we just need to possibly work with one of our friends, to get some code so that when somebody cheered, the doggy treat comes out.
Is it ducks or is it chickens? It's ducks, right?
They have ducks and chickens now. They have a separate channel for chickens.
Well, I need puppies.
Okay,
we could make a killing. And if you want in on the ground floor of this,
nice.
I'm just reaching out to my friends first.
Nice. Hang on, I'm trying to get an alternate camera view set up here. If I disappear, you'll know why.
I don't even know what's going on. So anyway, we said hello to. Oh, Mr. Mosby in the house. Hello. He says, Mr. Mosby says, I need a floof bed.
A floof bed?
Yes.
Very much so. It's hard to see because it's a black bed and she's a black-haired puppy.
Yeah.
But she is like right in there. She's not interested in sharing, but
there's really right a dog here. Yeah. I promise.
Insert dog there. The joys of OBS and dynamically switching cameras.
That's too much technology for me.
I know. We should
too much technology for me.
I think we should start the show.
We probably should. So what have you been doing?
Back last time with Richard, he was awesome to talk with, but we always never follow our pattern. And we actually got called out by the NIST, the standards organization, about the fact we did not follow our pre-prescribed sections.
Did you finally post all the back episodes of the show? Is that why they're finally paying attention?
I'm not talking about that right now. Don't change the subject on me.
No, I'm just wondering if that's how they finally figured out we never followed the flow of the show. But apparently that was not it. We were reported.
I don't even know what season it is. Season. The lot. We'll call it the lost season. Will be published.
The lost season, like the last 2 years, is lost. It's not lost. It's sitting on blob storage,
it's 1 year
dude.
Worth of episodes, okay? I mean, the LLC is paying for the subscription, but like I think we get one download a month. They are. Well, I'm paying for the subscription, so that am I not part of the LLC? Oh man! Oh man!
Making our $1.27 on Twitch today.
Excellent.
Hey, please like and subscribe to the channel. And pound that notification. Oh, no, that's YouTube. We don't have. Yeah. Is there a notification button on Twitch?
I don't know. Well, if you follow the streamer, you're going to be notified, obviously, right?
Yeah, I think so. What I just looked at chat and I see Steve saying Redmond seasoning. What's Redmond seasoning?
Yeah.
Kind of
like a new barbecue thing?
It's kind of like Montreal seasoning.
But not really.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, speaking of Montreal seasoning, I had the question, not to sidetrack us from starting the show, but I saw the picture of the, what do you call it? Montreal beef or Quebec beef or?
Montreal smoked meat. So Rich Campbell and I have an ongoing conversation whenever we connect and chat about making Montreal smoked meat, which is basically a smoked, a cured brisket to turn it into pastrami, and then it is smoked. Is pastrami smoked or is it just cured? I think it's just cured.
I think it's just, no, you can make smoked pastrami.
Yeah, so...
You just got to figure out which end to light.
Yeah, so you like the wrong end, it just tastes horrible. But anyway, so I decided, screw it. I was buying some proteins for the week, and I walked past only a flat. It wasn't a flat and a cap, the full thing. It was just a flat, reasonable price, which is not reasonable at all these days. And I'm like, well, screw it. I'm just gonna buy it and try it out because it's like $40 worth of meat. So I've got a flat inside of a vacuum-packed bag with a dry cure of like coriander, pepper, mustard, blah, blah, salt and pepper, obviously, a lot of salt, and even some of that pink nitrate stuff that they warn you not to eat, but it's used for curing. So I have some of that in there too. And it's a dry cure. I've never done one before. So it's inside a vacuum sealed bag and inside my fridge. And basically you flip it every 12 hours to make sure that the juices that are created from the curing mix with the meat and that sort of stuff. Eventually, this weekend actually, I'll be taking it out of the bag, soaking it in water to remove some of the salt, apparently.
Yes, obviously.
You have to basically soak it in water for 30 minutes and then change the water, do it again, basically do that 4 times. And then smoke it to just past the stall on a regular traditional brisket. So about 6 hours or so, I think, on my smoker. Takes about 3 hours to get up to the stall, sits in the stall for a while.
Like 160 something?
Yeah, just over the 160s, 170s. And then you take it out because it's technically done cooking and curing. And then it has all the smoke flavor in it. And then you put it in the fridge. And then when you want to eat it for the first time, which is probably the next day, you put it over top of a roasting pan on a rack with tin foil and water that you then steam to bring the internal temperature up to 200. And then you slice, put on a meat container like a bun, and eat. And that is Montreal smoked meat.
So it's basically like an over-salted pastrami?
That is then steamed to bring back to temperature.
It's steamed pastrami.
Yeah. So, but it's a steamed pastrami that's been smoked.
Fair enough.
And so yeah, we'll find out. I'll document the final steps to see how it actually tastes.
Yeah.
And you know they say the one thing I'm missing, which Kelly will not let me buy, is an actual sandwich meat slicer. She's worried, A, about the counter space it'll take up, but also B, that I will lose my fingers using the device as well.
I'm pretty sure you're not even allowed by Washington state law to purchase said.
To have your own slicer?
No, you're not allowed to have a spinning blade of death within like 30 feet of you.
So, however, I do happen to know a certain friend of ours that has access to an industrial grade bone saw as well as meat slicer that might be able to. He's got
that meat slicer. You can just roll it on down to the Safeway and just carve that sucker up, right?
Yeah, no, so that's the plan, I think. We might try that out. Who knows?
Well, on your way back, you should just stop by and drop off a little bit here so that I can have this slice of Canada.
And so the theory is basically, as you know, because you've taught me this, making brisket, because brisket's traditionally low and slow all the way up to the 200-ish, and then you do the final checks to say, does it pass through?
Yeah, when it's done. Yeah.
Right? And it could be 202, could be 199, could be 205, like wherever it happens to be.
When it's done. It's done when it's done.
So the idea is that the steaming takes it up to that level of niceness. So you could be steaming for like an hour to get it up to the center core up temperature of 200 degrees prior to serving. So, and the best part is I still have Canadian bagels from Montreal that I can eat this on top of. So I'm gonna.
Don't you get like a new shipment like every week?
No, not every week. It's at least every month that we get 9 dozen bagels. Or
it's
8 dozen
the bagel
bagels.
of the month shipping program.
They don't have maple syrup, only bagels. Only bagels.
Well, I mean, if there is a limit of the amount of maple syrup you can export personally.
Correct. Otherwise, you draw the ire of the Canadian Maple Syrup Consortium, which is not good.
If I had $1 for every time the Canadian Maple Syrup Consortium called me.
You do not want to have Jacques Kerouac show up at your door with his lumberjack hat and axe and flannel. Not a good sign.
And his big beard.
Yeah, he comes to. I was going to say, he doesn't come to break your knees like a Las Vegas bookie. What could he do? What would be a Canadian thing to do?
What makes you think that Las Vegas bookies break knees, dude? It's legal in Vegas. You're talking about like New York.
Well, if you don't pay up, they come and break your knees. But you know what?
Yeah, true.
Jacques Kerouac, what he does is he actually comes and cross-checks you in the face with the axe.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
That could work.
Could.
Does he apologize then?
Okay. He does say he's sorry when he's done, as he's leaving. We really need to stop. We really need to start the show, dude. This is just
JT Baker says, is this the Canadian version of the cartels? The Canadian Maple Syrup Consortium.
There really is.
It's legit.
There absolutely is legit a maple syrup strategic reserve that exists in Quebec.
I do believe they had to access the strategic reserves this year, did they not?
They did, and also prior, I want to say 8 years ago, there was actually a big controversy because someone was stealing the maple syrup from the reserve without knowing that it was actually disappearing. So, the reserve was full of empty 55 drum barrels that were slightly sticky.
Some dude comes rolling in with a jar and a tube.
Siphon. Quick, come on, we got to get this out of here. Quick, warm up the dog sled.
Hand me that pancake over there. There's some extra that spilled off, eh?
I need to wipe off the rim.
Nobody will know. This show has just completely gone off the rails.
Completely. So, Mr. Snow, what have you been working on this week from the trenches? What have you been working on?
I've been writing up a proposal because I kind of have this crazy idea in my head to go and try to drive some of the deployment motions with some of these big, large partners. So I've spent a lot of time building a three slides for a PowerPoint. I've probably spent more time on those slides than I ever did on our 38 slide PowerPoint decks that we used for presentations. Just these 3 slides. Yeah, gone through numerous iterations. I don't know why I wanted to say iteration because that's not a word. Numerous iterations.
Numerous irrigations. What?
Well, that too. I'm watering the PowerPoint slides, hoping they'll grow to something.
Planting the seeds, hoping they grow.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, presenting that next week. So I've kind of just been trying to figure some things out and put all the right measurements and OKRs and things there to go ask for a it's not a trivial amount of money. Well, I mean, I guess it just all depends on how you view things, but
true.
A few dollar 380s to go run some motions. Yeah.
Nice.
Other than that, Tarkov, but we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to throw the show off the rails
again to something else.
I mean, the show has been like purely like it's spot on. It's been rolling, talking about all the things that we should be talking about. I don't want to throw it off the rails.
Nice.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh, fun thing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you see my mic stand, my boom arm?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's spring loaded, right? That's how it's able to
It
move
moves in
and
place
stuff.
and counterbalances the weight.
Yeah. So yesterday I was joining a call, and normally when I'm not on a call, I don't have the mic in front of me. It kind of sits, just kind of back behind me. So I grabbed it to pull it over, and it, I guess the stand had loosened itself.
Mm-hmm.
So the stand went flying over. Well, here's a fun thing. Do you see this gap that's in between these two things here?
Yeah.
When your fingers are there, and the stand comes off,
it's a strong lever pinch point.
The spring load just goes right there, and when your 2 fingers are right in there, there's some colors on one of my fingers, and it's a finger I don't necessarily want to show people. So I highly encourage you to please move your boom mic responsibly.
With caution.
Just
Do
do
not
it responsibly.
use irresponsible boom mic placement and movement. Not a good thing.
And always check, and so I actually went through and I checked my monitor stands too, just to make sure that
Tighten everything back up again?
everything was tightened back up. Yeah.
So I have a very elaborate tree right over, like if you follow my finger in this way here, and that tree is a pole that stands up, but I have multiple pieces of different engineered configurations. I've got a straight out arm that has no up down articulation that holds a monitor. That's my demo monitor. I have a monitor arm that's been cut in half and then has a camera mount bolted into it that allows me to position the camera up and down.
Yeah.
I then have another non-articulated arm that comes around for one of my lights over here. You can kind of see it over there. That does my lighting up here to be able to have the lights, so I can, have some light on my face, kind of thing. I've noticed recently that the solid center pole is starting to go this way. It's still attached. It's still tight, but I'm scared to actually use my standing desk to raise it to see if it would actually hold up right now. And so I'm thinking I got to find some other things I can put on the other side to bring the lean back over to this side. And then I might get some stability to it.
So it's kind of like so you said it's a tree. So like what we would do in gardening is you would actually just get like a dowel, right?
A dowel?
Yeah, you just get like a dowel, a stick, and then and then zip tie it so that it grows straight again, right?
I'm not following.
Next time on the Patch and Switch program.
Gardening tips with Joey. Oh, you mean like? But how would I attach the dowel to my desk? To make
I didn't tell you. I don't know. Plant it.
No, but like you can't get the. You hammer it into the dirt. There's no dirt back there to hammer the dowel into, so that's not going to work. I could get a second arm and bolt it and then go. My concern is it's actually weakening the press board surface of the desk, but it is a pretty solid 3/4 inch thick desk or something like that.
You know what you could do? You could get an extension for that.
Or I could get a planter. I could get a planter beneath it.
So that's what I was thinking is a planter, and then stick the extension in and fill it with concrete.
Oh, that could work. I like that. If it spills on the carpet, it's not a big deal. We can just
quick dry. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. That could work. We'll see. But anyway, I gotta work on that. I've been busy this week, not with making 3 slides. I gotta say that's pretty tough work, man. Working on 3 slides over 5 days.
Well, it's taken many iterations, believe me.
I've been onboarding some new folks onto my team.
Hey, I saw your tweets about that.
Yeah,
the one time I logged into Twitter. Dude, Twitter's toxic lately. But can I just throw that out there? But anyway. Yeah, no, I saw your tweets.
It's either toxic or it's Wordle, one or the other.
That's true. Everyone is Wordling. I'm not Wordling, by the way.
I'm not either, because I can't spell. So how am I supposed to win Wordle? Like I would do the hacker mode and press F12 to be able to read the JavaScript code to get the answer.
Because it's sent in clear text.
Yeah. I've been onboarding. I'm going to say her last name wrong, and if she's watching, which I'm pretty sure she's not, I apologize. Amy I would say Collier because of my French background. It's Colyer. Collier.
Uh-huh.
I would say Collier.
Well, of course you would, because you have to make everything French to sound like snooty.
It's not snooty. It's just the way that I talk.
Snotty.
The way I spell too.
Name the movie. Snooty. Snotty. Snooty.
So she has started, which is awesome. She hails from the town of Chicago, or close by. She's a suburb of Chicago.
Wait.
So we have a new source for Revolution Brewing beer to be shipped to us.
Yes.
And I shall put that in her performance review on a regular basis.
Dude, she can interoffice it. She can interoffice it, dude.
Interoffice as beer. Woo-hoo.
And put it in the envelope, man, and just cross out the name before and put your name on
this. It's not happening. Don't worry about it. So there's that. She's awesome. She comes from a VMware background. She also is a certified 300 AZ300 architect, Azure type person as well. So she knows her stuff on Azure, knows her stuff on VMware and that sort of stuff. So she's awesome. She's great. The other person is Vinicius Apolinaro, a good friend of ours.
I know Vinicius. I know him.
Yeah, he hails from Brazil.
Yes.
And he came to Redmond around the time you and I were working together inside of the old group that was called DX. And then he did a job as a TPM, which is a technical product marketing manager, because they needed technical people that could collaborate with the marketing people to be able to make stuff better. And then he left that to go work in the product groups. And he's been working in the product groups as well for the longest time, focusing on containers on Windows. So the Windows Server as a containers platform. He's been working on that for a while, which is awesomeness. So he's come over as well. So it's been fun trying to figure out how to onboard people with all of our systems that are kind of disconnected from each other and changing all the time, that sort of stuff. So been good.
Oh boy, T3HCR has just followed the channel and said Ferris Bueller reference, and you're 100% right. So T3HCR, there's probably a name. I thought it would be teacher, but the C and the H are flipped, so maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. Anyway, yeah. So you've been onboarding. I've been working on 3 single slides for 5 days.
I know, eh?
Tecker. Okay, Tecker. But the C and the H are off.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
Well, it's better for security.
It is. It's more security through obscurity, I do believe.
Yes, I believe so. Just don't ask a streamer to say anything.
You got it. Speaking of Ferris Bueller, I was cleaning out, looking at some stuff in the closet. You know what I found?
No.
I found. Remember when we did that photo shoot in the museum, and we did the Ferris Bueller of the three pictures?
Yes. Yes.
I found my Detroit Red Wing. It's the Detroit Red Wings jersey, isn't it?
It's the Red Wings. Yes.
Red Wings.
It's the Red Wings.
I need more coffee.
Can somebody make that a word, please?
Red Wings.
that day in Chicago, that
was awesome, man.
You almost talked them into letting you drive the Zamboni.
I know. I only got the ride on it, but that was still fun. In the Blackhawks stadium, but
and they were just putting down the very first coats of ice on the surface for this.
Yeah, they're getting ready for the game a couple days from then. Very, very cool.
That was good time.
That was also the city that they gave me the ability to go and take a helicopter ride that evening for Tech Ed back in the day, for Ignite during the day. So
it was Ignite. Yes,
I got to learn all about the art of helicopter flying as a stunt helicopter pilot from the pilot.
Wait, was the pilot a stunt pilot, or were you the stunt pilot?
No, definitely. He would not let me touch the controls.
Okay,
and
good.
On more than one occasion, he asked me to take my feet off of the pedals because I thought they were footrests. Apparently, in a helicopter, they are not footrests, and you should not stretch your legs while using no said footrests.
No.
So,
no, you should not. You should not. That was fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
I miss those in-person things, but maybe eventually someday.
They'll be coming eventually. We'll see.
We shall see. Who remembers? No badge, no food.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There was some. I think they were union. Some of the people who directing.
They were just demonstrating the warm Chicago welcoming spirit. That's all.
Yeah, they were union. Right? They were part of the maple syrup consortium. This is how it started. This is how it started.
They were expelled from the consortium. Is that the
so now they're the Chicago beef, the Chicago beef sandwich consortium.
You got it. Oh. Yeah, so I do have another thing for work-wise that I
sorry
I do have to mention this today. I got an email reminder from a good friend of ours, Techie Lass, who was like, "Hey, dude, I'm not going to try to attempt to impersonate a Scottish accent right now, but she's like,
probably a good idea.
She's like, you said you were going to talk to the user group that she manages, the Glasgow user group, in February. What's your topic?" And I'm like, oh crap. I forgot. She sent me an email and I forgot to respond to it. So I'm currently soliciting ideas for topics to cover for the upcoming speak at the end of the month of February that I'll be doing at the Glasgow Azure user group.
Can we talk about the fact that Server 2016 is end of life?
Right now?
Well, I mean, like, you remember we when that launched, we were talking on a big stage.
Dude, we were talking about 2012. We were talking about 2012 upgrades at that point still.
Did I not say 2012?
No, you said 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
But still, it was very much so. I remember part 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes.
Probably available on the internet somewhere if you can still find it.
Don't follow those instructions right now.
They're a bit outdated, but it still works. The modality of how you do it still is the same, as I call it the shell game of the DC promo upgrades and that sort of stuff. But interestingly enough, I actually asked our friend Wes online, Mr.
Miller?
Yeah, Wes Miller. He, besides giving me the answer of it depends when I asked him about licensing, he's like, most organizations would have a SA benefit on their Windows servers, and you would be allowed to upgrade without having to have additional client costs involved. But if you don't have SA on your servers, then you would have to buy the license as well as buy the CALs to make it so you swap out your domain controllers.
I remember CALs.
I remember that, eh?
And having to buy cows.
Yeah. I said cows, not cows, by the way.
No, cows, client access licenses. Yeah.
So yeah, no,
TRP
but
8472.
you are correct, because 2016 is actually approaching end of enhanced.
Extended support.
It's entering into extended support mode.
2019 is
there? Yeah, 2016. It's crazy.
2016. Yeah.
And you know what? I think we should have someone who actually knows about it to be able to come on the show and talk about it.
Are you suggesting that we don't know about it?
No, but well, let's get someone who actually knows officially about what we're talking about to be able to have it. Because, we're trying to have guests come on, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have somebody on. TRP 8472 says Ned. It's not Ned.
Let me confirm here. Hang on a second.
I don't think it's. I know it's not Ned, because all Ned is going to come in and talk about is like turning
his
off.
Puppy.
Well, we would love to have him come on and talk about the dogs, but he's just going to come on and talk. We
actually don't want Ned. We want Darcy.
Yeah, we want Darcy. Darby. Yeah.
Darby.
Indy and Darby. That's all we care about.
Yeah, just give us the webcam on them, and then the headless voice of Ned talking with those two.
Darby and IndyCam. Absolutely says, got a new client yesterday with the Windows 2000 server called EXCH. EXCH. Oh no. There was. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There was. I was looking for the tweet I saw earlier. There was a tweet I saw earlier that somebody had posted that highlighted a requirement for a job posting, and says must know how to manage Exchange server without engaging Microsoft.
What? How to manage it without engaging?
They have an on-prem Exchange server, and apparently they've been maybe too many support issues with it, and so the job posting is like, you have to be able to do this without calling Microsoft support. I'm trying to find the tweet so that I can actually quote it correctly.
It could be because it's out of license.
Interesting.
Well, yeah. I just kind of giggled at that, right? Managing on-prem Exchange server without having to call Microsoft for support. I mean, it's an Exchange server.
Hey. We have soft confirmation.
Soft confirmation. Is it in pencil?
It's in he's checking.
No, he's checking.
Jeff Woolsey. Wow.
So, I mean, that's skipping right over Ned and going to the big names.
But we would have to make the show slightly more serious, potentially. But I think we could maybe convince them.
Have you hung out with Jeff? Yes, you have. We were in a taxi with him to the airport. Absolutely. Actually.
Yeah.
What country was that?
We should get him to do some impromptu keyboard for us.
Oh yeah, he's a musician, huh?
Yeah, he's actually skilled.
I remember seeing him jamming during the tech eds, the jam sessions.
So he's just gonna have to double check his dates for the 11th, which is our next show.
So very good, very cool. So we call that in the industry a tease.
Yeah. Stay tuned on the Twitters.
Stay tuned. We might have Jeff Woolsey. Joining us on the program.
If not, we will then attempt to go for Darby.
Not Jeff Woolsey.
Yeah, no, Darby and Indy.
Darby and Indy.
Yeah.
I think we would have the highest
and a distant
show.
Third, we could always go with Steve Seifus.
Wow, shots
Just don't
fired.
tell Steve that.
I like Steve. I wonder what Steve's take on our session about moving domain controllers would be.
We'd have to find it and ask him to watch it first, and then
critique it.
See how accurate we were.
We could make that like a watch night here on and the Twitch channels.
No, we can't do that because we're going to get DMCA'd.
By ourselves?
Yeah. We have TRP 8472 asking us about possibly even having Thomas Maurer and Azure Arc come in there at some point in time. And I'm like, I can't actually ask one of the people on my team to come on the show because I would feel bad that they would feel that they have to come on the show.
Well, how about you convey the ask that I would like him to come on the show?
Thomas Maurer?
Yeah.
I don't know if, do you think the audience would get his humor? Because he's a very dry European humor, right? I don't know if they'd get it as much.
I'm sure we probably get more ratings than this show does.
True. He does have a very large audience too. Very, very large audience. One of my other folks on my team asking.
Chopped liver, question mark.
Am I chopped liver?
DEFCON veterans in the house. Definitely yes. Definitely yes.
I think the quote was actually, "What the am I?"
I'm really glad that button actually worked, and it wasn't one of the times that it didn't
I know,
work.
I was like, roll the dice. Is it gonna work?
I can't find that tweet because apparently once you view something, it falls off your timeline forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Second segment of the show.
Beer money.
Beer money, which is the support that we do for our friends, our family, our family's friends, sisters, uncles, cousins.
I've got a good one.
Okay, go ahead before I go off on a rant. Go.
I've got the giggies.
Sorry?
I've got the giggies.
Where are the giggies?
The giggies are in my internets.
You got new internets.
I have symmetrical 1 gig up, 1 gig down from the fiber providers. My good friend Steven Taylor was the name of the install dude. And
you're now good friends?
We're good for like I'm literally like the demarcation point for where the fiber conduit ends is literally on my front lawn. And I got warned a couple times that they may not come, they're a little busy, they're short-staffed, and it's cold outside, and blah, like all the excuses by text message. So I'm literally like Christmas window looking in the shopping mall to see if
you're like
open.
sitting at the window right next to Bailey, right?
I know,
Garden the neighborhood.
Yeah, this is Bailey's spot right here. I was right next to her.
Yeah.
Making sure I could see. And I heard the diesel engine of the truck go by because it's one of the big install trucks with the power poles and that sort of stuff. But even though all the cables are buried here. And I saw him go by. I go running outside, and then he turns around and he comes back again. I wave him down, and then I angle him towards my empty driveway to say, "Park your truck here. It's right next to demarc." And he's like, no, like seriously, park here. And then I'm like, okay, so here's the place over here. Come on inside, take a look at the garage. And like, the night before, I spent 2 hours crawling through the crawl space in my house to be able to run a Cat 6E cable from my router in the central part of the house down the conduit across all the floor joists stapled and nicely tucked away to poke out to give me an extra 30 feet of cable on the other end to plug in my side of the cable into the ONT.
Yeah.
And he's looking at this, looking at that, looking at me, and he's like, dude, this is going to take me like half an hour to hook up. Like,
because like normally they're the ones who go underneath the house and run all the cables, right?
Totally. So he's like, no problem, man. I'll do you first. I'm like, boing. So I was so happy, all done. He even gave me an upgraded ONT device that actually, if I wanted to, could be dialed up to 10 giggies up.
Whoa!
And 10 giggies down. But I don't have a 10 gig Ethernet port on my Ubiquiti device to be able to accept that level of speed.
So are you actually getting a gig down?
Oh yeah, I did my speed test on a number of different sites at different times of the day, plus also ones that are run by the Ubiquiti equipment as well. 980 or 980, 990 MBs up and down. Beautiful stuff. So happy. And literally it was a matter of he texted me and he says, "Yeah, it's all hooked up. Do you want to go change over?" So I went downstairs, I unplugged my Xfinity Comcast Ethernet connection, and I simply plugged in the Ziply connection. I went back upstairs, and already Nothing else required. No reboot, no reset. And I picked up an IP, did my speed test, done. It was just beautiful. Beautiful.
So what are you doing for the TVs now?
Turning off Comcast.
What are you going with?
A variety of subscription services, I do believe.
Okay.
I think we're going to be going with Hulu Plus Extreme or whatever it is for the live component.
Does that have a DVR?
Amazon, yes, it does. Amazon Prime, Disney, Paramount.
Yeah, so I have all those. I just hadn't kind of figured out a live service, like for when we do watch live events.
The biggest concern in the household right now is what to do for the superb owl. Sorry, I almost said it.
Yeah, you can't say that. We'll get DMCA'd. Yeah.
I wanted to. That's the biggest concern is what are we going to do for the superb owl?
Well, you just need to have your local NBC provider. I want the local. I don't want the one out of like.
Yeah, but
Wichita.
The problem is, how do you get that local NBC provider if you don't have a subscription to Comcast?
I do believe that the YouTubes there's a lot of services that have them, like YouTube TV or
to go through. Anyway,
so I was looking. I know the YouTube one is very appealing. I know that there's DirecTV offers a thing, but I think it's too expensive. If you've cut the cord, for friends who have cut the cord and like sports balls, like I do, post in chat what you've done.
Your suggestions.
Yes.
I've been following the recommendation from
Johnny Chips with a Z in the house, gifting a tier 1 sub to Rickster CDN. You've been gifted a sub to the channel. Now you can officially post, and you have an icon and a badge. Congratulations.
Nice. I love it. Thank you so much, Johnny Chips.
KT Baker 77. They have these things called antennas. That's another cable that we have to pull. That's not
Yeah. Although I might look into that because I do have a
Paramount Plus does local CBS. Okay, that's great. That's CBS, but we still have to do NBC and ABC, and then I mean, I'm not worried about ESPN because I get that. I'm not worried about.
Oh, we got a new follow as well from PowerShell 101.
Hello. Oh, nice. Hey, thanks for the follow, PowerShell 101. Hey,
nice.
Peacock might do NBC. But here's one of the other things. So I want to cut the cable, and they're coming close. So I do believe that I am now close to being eligible to doing the fibers.
You are technically closer than I am to the data center that's up there.
But they're still dropping the connecting fibers, right? Because I can see them. They're out on our street all the time. He's like, it's coming really soon. And I'm getting the flyers that say you're eligible, and then when I plug in my address, it says not quite yet, but almost.
Yeah. So my friend across the street can't get it until mid-February because they actually have to use the Ditch Witch drilling device to go and punch underneath the road to be able to tunnel a conduit and then back up on his side to be able to get his connection in. Apparently, they frown upon just laying the fiber across the pavement to get to the house.
PowerShell 101, thanks for your tier 1 subscription for the kids. For the kids have cancer. Yeah, nice. Thank you. KT Baker 77. My antenna is stuck on the inside of my window. Yeah, that's not an acceptable factor. Sticking an antenna on the window. I mean, it might work in your house, Rick. But
what do you plug the antennas into? You have to have a tuner, though, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, your TV has a tuner.
Does it?
Yeah.
Not every TV anymore.
On the wall, dude. I know.
Maybe I'll go take a look on the Amazonians and on the interwebs to find out some kind of an antenna option because no one's explored that option that I'm aware of yet.
Now, Joe Schnabel suggests to move your buddy's house closer so they don't have to drill.
Oh yeah, that could work. Yeah. That could work.
Yeah. I mean, I know antennas work. I was just looking to see if there was a digital option.
Do you remember the old days of Media Center TV? Media Center.
Oh yeah. Oh, completely. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, and way back then, I was playing around with the antennas for over-the-air stuff.
Yeah.
Did not meet the wife acceptance factor at all.
Agreed. Completely.
Lasted maybe 30 seconds in the house.
And we also live in basically a forest.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Situation.
That's why I find it so comforting being here as a Canadian, just in the wilds of the forests.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have all the giggies now. You have all the giggies.
It's not the same tapping a pine tree for maple syrup. It just doesn't work. It's very bitter.
It's because it's pine. It's not maple. I can't believe I'm explaining this to a Canadian. Hey, I had some beer money support.
What you been doing, buddy?
So I got a phone call.
Oh yeah.
From the college kid.
Because she's on the other side of the mountains. For those that don't know,
she is. She says, and this is like last week. So a week after, or 2 weeks after she was here for her big long Christmas holiday break.
We had another gift come in from PowerShell 101 for DEF CON Veteran. Just got a subscription. Woo-hoo.
Thanks for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. DEF CON Veteran, give PowerShell 101 a big thank you. So anyway, get a phone call. How do you make a spacebar not stick? My spacebar is sticking on my laptop.
She was tapping the any key too much.
So I was like, what did you spill on it? Because that's the first thing, right? The only thing that causes a spacebar to stick is something was spilled.
Absolutely.
Well, at my job where she's a nanny, right? Mm-hmm. For a not quite 2-year-old, there was some root beer spilled. And I went, oh. Well.
And it's not like it's just a keyboard where you could like pick it up and throw it in the bathtub for a while.
Yeah,
do not recommend throwing a laptop in the bathtub and then putting it in rice. Not a good idea.
That doesn't. No, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
And word to the wise, they actually have water sensors on said laptops to check to see if there was water damage. Don't ask me how I know.
That's yes, exactly. KT Baker, stop eating and drinking on your keyboard. 100%. So at any rate, I asked. So when did this happen? Oh, before break, she says. She was home for a month. Break.
Even hey, Steve the audio guy, Mr. J-Shock just gifted a bunch of subs to a whole bunch of people. Wow, congratulations, thanks sir.
Yeah, and then Computex, Kowski, KT Baker, Field Shovel, and K McFerrin say thank you. Say thank you to the J-Shocks. So
she had a busted keyboard. She came home for the break and didn't ask you to fix it, and went back across the mountains, and then decided to call you.
And then says, "What can I do?"
Yeah.
So at this point,
wow, this sounds like a clausing. That's what that is.
When we bought said PC, I bought the extended warranty.
Oh yeah.
Now the reason I bought the extended warranty is that if you don't use it, they refund it to you. So this is not one of those, I'm calling about your truck's extended warranty. This is actually a legit thing. You don't use it, they refund you the money.
Right.
So I said, well, you're going to have to call them. And she's like, will you call them? And I'm like, I don't have the laptop. Yeah. I can't do any troubleshooting. I can't do any testing. I can't do any of that.
Can't you just pop the space bar off and like clean it with some alcohol swabs?
Apparently not on this keyboard.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting. Did not know
So
that.
she called the manufacturer. They have sent a box and packing equipment to send the laptop back.
Oh, no.
To be serviced under warranty. The challenge with that is
all of her documents and stuff are on it, right?
Well, I mean, that's easy. You can just, those are in the cloud and so on and so forth. But college and classes have been randomly turned virtual.
Oh, yeah. But she needs to have virtualized capabilities. Oh,
yep. Look at J-Flow gifting 5 subs to the community. Thank you, J-Flow.
This is awesome. Everyone's just like throwing these things around.
Yeah, they're just throwing them. They're throwing it around like candy at a parade. You get a gifted sub, and you get a gifted sub. If J-Flow gifted you a sub,
so it really sucked in Canada. Just a side note, it really sucked in Canada for Santa Claus parades because they would throw chocolate bars and they'd be freaking frozen. I'll bring that up for the jury, just so you know. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
So she now has to send her laptop away. Yep. Has no ability to do remote classes.
Nope.
So what's she going to do for remote classes? Do them from her phone?
No, we're going to wait until there's a break and then send the laptop back. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Like you might be able to clean the spacebar still. Like I would still be inclined to try to pop it off.
Well, of course
Me,
you would be, but we were told specifically not to try to remove it. So, Phil Sobel, you need to buy her laptop number 2. No, laptop number 2 goes to the number 2 child who's about to see college.
Right.
She's actually taking college classes right now. She's using an old Surface Pro 4 device of mine.
So both of my girls, I got laptops for them before the final senior year, so they could use them for remote schooling if remote schooling took place, that sort of stuff. They were told me just like a couple of weeks ago, I can't believe that you made us use those old Surface devices compared to these laptops. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, these are so fast. So the old Surface devices was literally one of the Intel mobile chips processor with 4 gigs of RAM on them.
Oh.
And they're using Teams to be able to do the remote schooling. So compared to the now 16 gig i5s that I bought, Surface laptops that they have right now, it was the last generation before they went with the brand new ones that just came out. I got them from one of our resellers here at Best Buy, I think it was. And they're like, this is amazing. Absolutely night and day difference. I'm like, yeah, amazing. Huh? It's great.
Oh, Phil Schwab is saying Teams uses almost no resources at all here, so he doesn't know why that would be the case. That it would be.
Phil Snobel's probably on the ultra top secret beta release that not even the internal employees are on to make it perform like that.
He gets his own. Phil Snobel performance release.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not the one that J-Shock is on, but that's another whole story that we'll talk about some other time.
That is true. That is true. That J-Shock uses all the resources.
You got it.
He's on the all resource list. That's the Red Ring.
The Red Ring? Red Rum?
Red Rum. No, can't say that.
Oh, we haven't finished the second segment of the show, and we're already out of time. I just look at the clock.
I was gonna say. I was gonna ask. We've been talking a little bit. So the end of the space. I just need to finish the space bar story. We're gonna wait.
Yes.
And then send it back and hope it gets back here in time. They said it should take like a week to 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
I just really hope it's not being shipped by FedEx.
Yeah, I know, eh? I've not had good results from them in a long time, my friend. So we're gonna. I have a package. Beer talk. We're gonna have to skip over top of random spending.
Yep.
I'll have to save it for next time. Save it for next time. We will confirm via the socials the appearance of a guest for our next episode coming up on the 11th of February, in case you're wondering the date.
Yes.
And we did a whole bunch of words went flying by. You know, definitely.
Holy crap, dude! We have a hype train going.
We have a hype train going, but we also have a lot of words on the Showbot page. If you want to.
Oh, what do we got?
Yeah. So while you throw the words on the Showbot page, let's. I want to thank those of you who got us into the hype train. Johnny Chips with a Z, whose brother is Jimmy Chips with an S.
Nice.
For your gifted sub, PowerShell 101 for your sub and gifted sub, J Shock for your gifted subs, and J Flow for your gifted subs. Thanks so much, and the kids, thank you. And then PowerShell 101 with another gifted sub to Mr. Mosby. Thank you so much. We have a level 4 hype train. I don't know what that means. It's just that there's a thing that's like screaming at me.
There's a thing that's going on, and we're at like we're getting there, and every time someone gets another sub, the hype train gets higher. It's crazy.
Chugga, woo woo.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So, wow, we have a ton of words.
I know. Like, aren't people supposed to be voting for them besides just nominating them?
No, I think they just nominate them.
We just had a success.
We received a level 3 hype train emote.
Woo-hoo. Nice.
All right. There's a special emote. We don't have hype train emotes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nice. 12.
So I think Dot Matrix. Oh my gosh. Dot Matrix Wed Wings. Can we scroll down a little bit? Dot Matrix Wed Wings and
P.S. Darwin just subbed as well, or just subscribed, sorry.
I think we have to go Cal's. Don't you think we have to go Cal's?
I think Cal is good. Cal would be good.
Dot Matrix Wed Wings Cal's will be the next episode's. What was today's title?
Wed Wings.
Oh, today's title was iFart Stroller Streaming Lunchables for Adults.
Yeah.
That's a really long. That's more than 3 words.
Well, if you take out the spaces, technically it's still one word, so that's why.
What is stroller streaming? What were we talking about? Stroller streaming.
We were talking about the people who actually like set their phones up on top of their strollers as they're walking their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's apparently a thing.
Apparently. Crazy.
Is that a category on Twitch?
It probably would be if you got someone that simply makes a bagel every morning. Why not stroller streaming?
When are we going to do a hot tub stream?
I know a guy with
And
a hot
there's the
tub
music.
that's actually quite nice.
Hey, and that music means we've come to the end of another exciting episode of the Patch and Switch program. Thank you to One Wise Geek, Absolutely, Crazy 24 Hours a Day, DEFCON Veteran Exchange SME, the fairest of Brits over in the UK's good day, mate. Foul Temper in the PDX, Johnny Chips with a Z, Yawn in the house, Chaos, K. McFerrin-Kowski, KT Baker, thank you for your contributions to the program. McKaylee, Mr. Mosby, Nintendo Switch XL. Ooh. New Pokemon game came out tomorrow. PowerShell 101, thank you so very much for your subscription and your gifts. Shadiest of Pandas, oh my gosh. Shanula, Teacher or Tecker. Sorry, Tecker. Thanks for your sub. GRP8472, Vizio, MVP, and _. Everybody, have a weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks.